defensively for Green Bay. That's amazing.
4th and 5. Wilson throws, and one of those rookies, Casey Hayward, defending Golden Tate. No flag. 4th down. 3 and out for the Seahawks again.
These Green Bay Packers are unbelievable. They drafted 6 defensive players with their first 6 picks. Here's Casey Hayward out of Vanderbilt. Nice play. Clean play.
John Moffitt back in the game at right guard now from the 40. Lynch runs it for 3 with A.J. Hawk and Nick Perry. And a flag in as the action goes late.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 51. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's DJ Smith, the second-year man who's replacing Desmond Bishop, who's out for the year when he hurt his hamstring to open the preseason.
We'll try to take a look at this penalty. Now, you're a linebacker. You're trying to get to Marshawn Lynch and gang tackle him. See if you see number 51. He got knocked down. I don't know what he did.
There's the business on the first scoring drive that stops the longest scoreless game to this point in this NFL season. Here's what happened on that 15-yard penalty. Pat McQuiston, 67, there in the action at the 40-yard line, goes and pushes DJ Smith of Green Bay. Smith gets up, and that is what's called for the 15-yarder. And as happens oftentimes, the second action is what gets caught. Mentioned Jerry Austin, twice the referee in the Super Bowl, with us on Monday Night Football all year. Jerry said if you're going to call one, you've got to call both, especially right now. And it sets up some play action. Rodgers with no flag coming in on tight coverage from Earl Thomas, and the Green Bay sideline ballistic at no call there.
I like the no call reverse pivot. They're going to use a little play action pass and try to throw a sharp post to James Jones. And that's Earl Thomas, the Pro Bowl 23-year-old safety. Watch number 29 cut this off.
The quarterback, defense number 54. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The call is on Bobby Wagner for hitting Rodgers there. As the Packers sideline was watching the same thing I was, that Earl Thomas early contact.
And Bobby Wagner, that's a rookie mistake right there. You have to pull off the quarterback, and anything below the belt that's semi-lit.
Backs on the field. So Rodgers pitches to Benson, trying to get to the edge. Good hesitation, but a better pickup by K.J. Wright. There is a flag thrown on the play.
No, there's going to be hands to the face. Boy, against Brandon Browner, who's a ways away from this play.
Hands to the face, defense number 39. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's the corner on the near side of the field.
He can't be further away from this play. This ball's tossed away from Browner. Let's see what happens to he and James Jones. He's nowhere near the play. Very uncommon.
The ex-Packer, John Ryan, has been killing the ball tonight. A lot of hang time on this, not as deep. A flag down as the fair catch is made of the 44-yard kick. Randall Cobb caught it at the 34. Ryan punted for Green Bay in 06 and 07. Wayne Elliott, the referee here tonight, real estate man from Austin, Texas.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the kicking team, number 25. 15-yard penalty.
Get this straightened out.
Personal foul. It's on 25 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
There is no 25 on the Packers. So they got the number incorrect.
Poor Richard Sherman, he's standing out there saying, hey, wait a minute.
Unless Ryan Grant has come back to the Packers, or Dorsey Levens. Was it 24, Jarrett Bush?
Attacking that as he's running out of bounds.
All short stuff, only one pass to a target 20 yards downfield tonight. And that rocket off Finley's hands, but a pass interference flag is thrown on Cam Chancellor, the safety.
Well, he thought he timed it just right. Chancellor knows this route tree, this quick slant pattern.
Pass interference, 31 on the defense. Spot foul, first down.
You know, these pass interference calls have to jump off the screen at you to be called, Mike. That's a terrible call in this situation, I believe. Pass interference calls should call themselves. They ought to be obvious to everybody on the officiating crew to make that call. That's not good.
Again, that's the speed of the game that these current officials replacing the veterans are needing to adjust to. 13-play and a 10-play drive for a field goal.
He wants Jones again at the bottom of the screen.
Working on Richard Sherman. Look that way, now comes back to the other side. And it's Cedric Benson brought down by the safety Chancellor at the 21-yard line.
Well, you can feel that coming.
Look at a wrestling match going on in the end zone, 20 yards away from the play. Jordy Nelson is not the one involved. He ran down there to try to break it up as Brandon Browner was involved with Greg Jennings. There was no flag thrown until the very end of the sequence.
Take a look at it, what happens down the field. That's a cheap shot. I don't blame Jennings for being upset with that.
And I don't see a flag out by the 5-yard line. Meaning I didn't see the officials get that cheap shot. And Greg Jennings told Lisa yesterday, he's like, I hate bumping you. I don't like bumping her in coverage. I hate guys touching me as I'm trying to get my release off the line. And the cheap shot, he reacted.
Fouls. Personal foul. Defense number 39. Personal foul. Offense number 85. Offset. Second down.
And that's only because that's all they saw. They missed the first egregious foul on Browner.
Well, Brandon Browner was the most penalized defensive player in the league last year. We know that. He's an outstanding football player.
From the 11, Rodgers. Irvin got off the edge. Rodgers, he's rolling, pumping, throwing to Jennings, who slips but gets in for the touchdown.
This quarterback, for him,
gotta watch
second
Jennings'
reaction
foot.
play.
Gotta watch Jennings' foot on the sideline here. There's a scoring play. It automatically gets reviewed. He's out of bounds there. The question is, where is the ball at that point? It's just scored on the field as ruled by the officials. Automatically replay. He's out right there. That ball looks to be short of the goal line.
The previous play is under review.
Right there is a great look at it. But it would be a first down for the Packers. Touchdown for now, but it might be overturned in replay. For a first down. Here's Wayne.
After further review, the runner steps out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the 1 1/4 yard line. It'll be third down.
The 1 1/4 means it's going to be 3rd and 1/4 of a yard. He does run play action. John Rodgers scrambling, keeping, and he stopped, reached it forward, but the mark has him short of the first down.
You're going to see a corner route here to DJ Williams. The fullback's in the flat, and McDonald comes from inside out right at the stripe.
Wow, what a good play. The rookie Bobby Wagner, along with the 4th-year man McDonald. They are short, so what do you do now? 7-6, field goal gives you the lead.
Well, Seattle has -1.
And a challenge by McCarthy of the spot here with 9:09 to go. Okay, we've taken a couple of looks at this with Jerry Austin, the veteran NFL referee. Jerry, we're watching. We looked at the elbow initially on the first look at the replay, but now let's watch the knee on this Rodgers replay.
And that makes it closer than we first anticipated when the elbow touches, and then he extends the ball. If they back it up just a little bit, it's got to be, without a doubt, made the first down in order to overturn the ruling on the field of being short.
At that angle, you can piece information together. That angle shows you that the hand was down, not the wrist or the elbow. So that angle that you saw helped determine that the knee is what you're looking at. And then the second part was, where was he as he reached out when the knee came down? And that yellow line of ours is not official.
After further review, the player reached the first down marker. First and goal on the 1-yard line. The clock will start on the ready.
Well.
It was a great challenge by Mike McCarthy down there as he was making the decision, field goal or not.
How about the effort? What we're losing sight of is the effort by this quarterback. Give it to him. Let's see what happens now. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Can this offense get anything going? Russell Wilson again running for his life. Pass deflected and intercepted on the sideline by Jerron McMillan. What a reaction play off the tip by the 4th-round pick out of Maine. And you see Kevin Green, the outside linebacker coach. But there's a flag down as Wilson was being chased. Did Walden rough him?
Personal foul, roughing the quarterback. Defense number 93. 15-yard penalty, first down.
They run a bootleg away from Clay Matthews, and it's a good thing. And Eric Walden is in hot pursuit. Let's take a look at this. Here comes Walden. Just don't see these.
There's the tip off the hand of Evan Moore. McMillan made the play, got 2 hands down, inbounds, but 14 flags or 118 yards. Wilson throwing towards Sidney Rice. He battles with Sam Shields, and which way will this pass interference be called?
We've got a penalty on every play.
Yep. There were 4 in a row. But Charles Woodson is trying to negotiate it to go against Rice. And from the reaction of the players, it will be on Shields of the Packers. But there's a long conversation going on here.
Take a look at it. I think it's on Sidney Rice. I don't even believe they're going to call this on Sam Shields.
Pass interference, defense number 37. Spot foul, first down.
Well, I know they want self-control. They don't want your emotions to take over, but that's not defensive pass.
This is what you're talking about, John. Look at the S of Shields as he gets pulled by the right hand. If anything, that's the most egregious contact on the play there. You see where Shields' hands are.
I used to do this for a living, and I had very little self-control. I'm about to jump out the press box on that call.
It's a 32-back set. See if the Packers can generate the pass rush. 46 seconds left. Worthy pushing up the middle. Wilson throwing down the middle for the tight end. Incomplete with no flag coming in.
Evan Moore is a tight end that has down-the-field receiving ability. He's clearly the target that Russell Wilson is going to look to in this situation. Let's take a look at Charles Woodson, I should say, in man-to-man coverage. That looked like PI if there was PI.
Because Woodson never really came back to the ball. Takes the lone receiver to the left. The Packers playing at the goal line. As Wilson scrambles to keep it alive. The game's final play is a Wilson loft to the end zone, which is fought for by Tate with Jennings simultaneous. Who has it? Who they give it to? Touchdown! One guy goes up, touchdown. The other said no time. Has to be looked at because it's a score. Still have an official down there in the pile looking.
It's Russell Wilson.
They're fighting down at the bottom of the pile with Jennings still down there. Tate off the pile with the ball. We must have a definitive call. There was one touchdown signal. The Seahawks have won.
Previous play is under review.
You can't go to replay to determine who caught the ball. So that call has to be made on the field. You see the one guy go up touchdown and the other go timeout like it's a pick.
How does M.D. Jennings not get credit for the interception? I have no idea.
It looks like Jennings has the ball there. Let me bring in Jerry Austin. Very interesting. Seattle's in celebration mode here.
They go high. Jennings has the ball. He's bringing it in. When he gets to the ground, he's got it against his body, and Tate then pulls it away.
He's got two hands on it. The other one looked like it was a Jennings ball. But this official here, Jerry, goes up and signals touchdown. And see the other one going with that signal you would give for an interception, correct?
For a touchback, yes.
This is the most bizarre sequence you'll ever see at the end of the game. Let's watch the feet of Jennings. They're certainly inbounds. He had more of the ball as he comes down. And like you said, it's against his body.
Golden Tate gets away with one of the most blatant offensive pass interference calls I've ever seen. M.D. Jennings intercepts the pass, and Tate's walking out here as the player of the game.
And
unbelievable.
By rule, there must be an extra point try.
Aaron Rodgers is trying to figure out what's going on. The Packers are back on their sideline. The Seahawks have been moved back. They're now clearing the field.
Mike McCarthy's not going to believe this one. Watch Golden Tate push off. He's going to run down the field. He's going to push off and give himself a chance to play the ball. They rarely call OPI on the last play of the game. We've been saying that for years. But Tate is going to push off on Shields. And for the life of me, I don't know how M.D. Jennings doesn't have credit for an interception.
To me, it feels like a Jennings interception. And they're fighting with both hands on the ball. And Jerry, you said the ball's kind of pressed to the chest of Jennings.
Yes, it's Jennings has the ball in his arms to his chest. Now Tate has hands on the ball, but Jennings has the ball to his body. And it appears to me that that would be an interception.
Can you go? So here comes the referee now. He's looked at it under the hood. This is deciding who wins the game on this
After
call.
further review, the call on the field stands. Touchdown. Game is over.
Seahawks win in the most bizarre finish you'll ever see.